welcome along. Welcome to the Valley, the old farm. We are here with Gilles on our challenge series, and it's an early morning in January. You can see the weather up there at the top. It's pretty crisp, to be honest, but no snow on the ground at this stage. Just having a look at the situation with the cows this morning. So you can see the little summary, but if we go into the main menu for cows, we'll see we put in 2,500 litres of TMR, total mixed ration, last time, and they've eaten about 1,000 of it. So this little population of cows that we've got is going through about 1,000 a month at the moment. So while we've got a minute, Gilles has thought it's probably a good idea to mix up another batch, which he's done, which we should be able to just load straight in. That bucket on the front loader arm isn't the most convenient way to get things going, but it kind of works. Now, just in case we get snow, we might pop that back into the shed so we can shut the door. Oh, actually, well, let's move it out of the way completely, because one of the things that you might have noticed on that last screen, we've got a little bit of milk. So there are quite a few things we need to be selling today. So hopefully that'll fit there. And let's just come away from the cows because they're a little bit noisy. So if we have a look at our gardens, we'll see we've got a couple of pallets of melons at 500 litres each. There's 1,000 litres of melons, another 1,000 litres of apples. Let's have a look at the pricing. So eggs, not much happening. Milk, you can see 1,100 litres, which we can take across to the dairy, although we'll need to organise some way of transporting that. And apples, we've actually got quite a few, and at 6.27 they're a good price, so we should be looking to move those along. Similarly, the melons are actually up near their top price, and so getting those to the restaurant's probably a good idea as well. So figuring out how to move those is probably up near the top of our priority list, to be honest. And I seem to recall he hasn't looked. Yeah, that's right. In that shed there is a pretty tired looking trailer, which hopefully will do the trick. It's clearly been on the farm for a while. Let's see how that goes. Now we're going to need a way to load it as well. Thinking a pallet fork for the rear arm is probably going to be our best chance. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, so she only goes on the high hitch, which is kind of interesting. Can we affect the... I don't think we've got any adjustment on that trailer. Doesn't look like it. No. Okay. So we might need... Let's disconnect you there. Don't know whether it's a tractor. See, we've got the low hitch on the on the tractor, but we don't seem to have any adjustment. So what we might need to do is head down the store in a second. And the other thing we're definitely going to need is a set of pallet forks for this. I'm wondering, maybe we can just get a straight... Is it better to put pallet forks on? Gilles not an expert in these maneuvers, but it might be better off... Oops. Putting pallet forks on the arm. In which case we should take that with us, I think. Let's head over to the shop and see what they've got. We've always got work to come out and do here on our field. You can see the extra, so we're up to 10 apple trees, put 3 in at the end of the last episode, and they may also need some more water. He did put a little bit in them, but we can check on those a bit later on. So 3 things to buy here at the store. Let's go first to front loader tools. We need a set of pallet forks, and I think that's all the choices we appear to have. So we'll take the all but. And next thing he wants is an adjustable hitch, and those are just for shifting weight. The one he's got in mind, I think, is this one here. Hopefully we might need to experiment a bit, but 65 is a good place to start. That color is going to be fine, so we can just sort of hide away. I think that's the one we want, even though it doesn't show the ball. Let's just see. Main thing we want it to do is just enable a function so that we can adjust the link on the tractor. So, and then the last thing we need is something to cart the milk. And the cheapest he was referred to by his friend here, she said they sell, yeah, here we go. These tanks, which can be filled with water to use as weights, but we can also get them in, I guess, a chrome, well, painted, let's put it that way. Let's leave it at blue, look better. Oh yeah, that'll blend in. And that takes milk. So we'll buy one of those. And that should... yeah, takes milk. So should give us a solution for our milk transport. Let's see how we go here. We probably have to come back for the milk tank. Let's just deal with the pallet forks first. Hopefully they'll do the trick without too much trouble, and we'll come back for the other 2 in a little bit. Let's just see how this works out for us. It turned out to be a good decision the other day to keep going and put a couple of extra loads on the, headlands on that ploughing contract that we've got. Yeah, what have we got here? We need to go. Let's back you up. And hopefully not ideal, but it does enable us to lift. That's not too bad. Let's pick up. Let's see how we go with the second one. I've got no idea what the weight is like back there. So just line up there. That's the level that we get. A bit higher. Straighten you up. Drive you out. Fine adjustment is not good. And we knock it over. So this is first impression not looking like a particularly helpful maneuver, but maybe it's operator weakness. There we go. Up there. Come on. That's the angle we want. Very much about trying to just get the control where you need it and the line of sight so that you can judge the depth. There we go, that's better. Let's straighten up here. Certainly on the list is a telehandler, and it's just a financial question really. With any luck, that should enable us to pick them up, which it does. As long as we don't accelerate too quickly, we have some chance of getting them to the trailer. We've certainly got a little bit of lift capacity, even if our stacking would get a little bit tedious. But it's January and he needs something to keep him busy. It's not square on, but let's just see if we can successfully take them off there. The configuration of this trailer is not ideal. Okay, Gilles, I think you're going to need another plan here, Chief. The trailer doesn't want to cooperate. The pallets don't want to come off the forks. The trailer probably needs to be connected to a tractor. Oh, well, who knew? It's actually an auto-load trailer. The magic will never cease. Okay, we can live with that. Straighten that one up, put you down. And that might practically be the only way we can effectively make this work, is to take advantage of the fact that it is auto load. So that might make up for the fact that otherwise it'll take us all day to load it. them up. Try not to scrape the pallet off on the tree. And away we go. So certainly the auto load helps turn a difficult task into a slightly more successful one. Although it's not entirely reliable. Oops. As you can see. And the arc on the back of these is annoying, as is the fact that the controls feel reversed to what you used to. So having messed around for a little bit with the first layer, let's see if the bracket makes a difference with connecting to the trailer. At least the temperature's popped up a little bit. Now what I'm hoping is we can put both the bracket and the tank on. I think I may be in trouble. I don't think it'll let me have this attachment and the 3-point active at the same time, but let's see what happens. No. Okay, let's go and deal with the trailer. Now, let's see here. Do we get any? Yes, we do. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. So that works exactly as intended. And now in terms of... we're sort of there. Let's see if we can get our auto load trailer to work a little bit more reliably, and that'll give us a mechanism to do without having to mess with the rear mounted front loader. That's one. Let's try these trees over here, see if that crooked pallet on the back's going to be an issue. This will be a lot more successful operation if we can use the trailer this way. No, it won't let us. Okay. Having bumped that into line, let's see if we can... and get that one on. Can we get any more on the back there? No. So that looks like it's the limit of our trailer at present. Now, where do we want to sell this produce? We want to go to the farm shop and the restaurant. So the farm shop's just down the street, really close. And the restaurant is just over the road. So it couldn't be really very much more convenient, to be honest. So let's go and deal with this load. And then we can come back and take care of the milk. Yeah, I think we can get in round the back here. And that should enable us to drop off the melons, I'm hoping. Oh no, it's apples here. Apples and melons, in fact. So it will take all the produce at the farm shop, even though the restaurant probably would have given us a couple of dollars extra. Well, we know that for next time. The other thing it'd probably be a pretty good idea to do is a little bit of maintenance on this trailer in the workshop. That's unloading fine. So the good news is we know we've got a way of getting produce to the shop. And our trailer works fairly effectively to get it loaded if we go about it in the right way. So that's good. Good to know. Come on, drop this in the workshop. We can come back and get the rest of those apples later on. We'll leave that attachment on the trailer. That'll make it better for next time. And let's go get this milk sorted. Now this should drop straight on the back. The interesting question when we fill it with milk is just how heavy is it? I think it'll work quite nicely. Yeah, let's see. I think the trigger is over in the corner there, but it could be on the outside on the other side. It's just maneuver through the doorway and see if that allows us to fill the milk. It does. The place we want to take milk to is the dairy. Is nice and close because we are the bakery and we know we can't do any work down there for the moment because we don't have all the produce we need. So the dairy is very conveniently right across the road here. And I think the unload trigger is around the back. If we're lucky. Haven't found it yet. There it is. So it doesn't come much easier than that, does it? So whilst it hasn't gone exactly as we wanted, it's a pretty successful morning. All up, we got a couple of little bits and pieces. We learnt that the pallet forks aren't super successful on the back of the ridgy track. So that just increases the pressure for the telehandler. But there was $1,000 there for $1,000 euro there for us. We'll pop in. We can leave our milk tanks just over next to the churns, where we know that that's an easy delivery to do when we have the need. Right. Well, let's do one more quick run round And then the last activity for the day is to head over to, while the weather's supporting us, just in case we get snow next month, is head over to field 1 and see if we can knock out the bulk of the rest of that contract. Gilles was pretty pleased with the progress he made before he sort of called it quits for dinner the other night. He got near enough to 3 headlands without sort of, once he got into the system of how to manage that Challenger with the big plow, it all sort of worked fairly well. There's still plenty of work to go, but kind of feels like it's coming together. And certainly this plow works pretty well behind this tractor, as long as you're sort of turning in, well, with it configured on this side, you want to be turning to the right. And if you can get rounded corners in place, what we'll do here is we'll head down over to the second half of the field. He sort of divided the fields into 2 segments. Make it a little easier to work. Overall, the less corners we do, the better. The more thinking that he's been doing on sort of the longer term and how to set up in the shorter term, the more he's clear that buying the sugar mill seems to be the way to go, and therefore putting sugar beet in our field, at least some, over the next few months will be the plan. So having got this contract out of the way, his attention will turn to prepping our field. So getting a section cut out. He's been doing some reading, needs to make sure we get some fertilizer and some lime sorted. Fertilize the piece that we've already planted the barley in to maximize the yield there. And also get some lime spread before we put the sugar beet in the ground is the plan. Longer term, we might get some slurry from the cows that we can use for fertilizing, but we don't really have enough to be producing either slurry or manure in enough volume to worry about spreading. You can see what the effect of the 3 headlands was here, so there's only a few trips to make up and down this field with any luck. And depending on how the time goes, I don't think we'll finish this before we run out of daylight, but we might go reasonably close. Advantage of this heavier kit is it pretty much holds whatever line he sets, so we can get going up this direct north heading and pretty confidently stay on the same track. When it comes to the corner, he's found if he just, we messed that bit up a little bit, but just follow the line inside the left track. That seems to give him an arc where he gets the whole field without upsetting the plough. So you just get it inside the left track and around like so, and that works. And then he can resume his line on the field about a track's width inside, which is about the distance that leftmost plough head needs to run. Whilst it's a slow old task, Gilles quite enjoying the Challenger, finding himself wondering what it would take to make an electric version of one of these. Would make life a bit interesting. Some serious battery power necessary, but nonetheless the electrical engineer in him can't resist the thought process, and it's helping while away the hours heading up and down the field. As the light starts to fade, the shadows get a bit longer. Gilles still feeling pretty good about his decision to take this contract on, even though the indicator says we're just still shy of halfway. He's pretty confident he'll get to halfway on the indicator before it gets fully dark, and it's such a lucrative contract, some 20 odd thousand. It should put in the bank, less of course the cost that gets deducted for borrowing the equipment, but it puts us in a really good place. And he just had a look at the weather report for next month, and the weather's looking like it'll be kind to us, so that should give us plenty of opportunity to get the contract finished. And depending on how he goes this afternoon, might just get close to knocking out this section we're working on and just leave the shorter section with more turns up near the road. We won't have produce that we need to sell next time, so we can just concentrate on doing a little bit of field work at on our own fields, and then coming down here and finishing this one. Probably should give his friend a call as the sun slips behind a cloud there. The lights come on. Let's see if there's anything at the store that we need to be worried about. Don't think we've got much call for a sugarcane machine, and a front loader would be great if we had a tractor that we could put it on. And I don't think we can afford to worry about rollers at this stage, so nothing to be concerned about in the second-hand market in the local area, which is just as well because we know where our cash is heading in the short term. But as the light fades over the lake, this is where we might leave Gilles. It's just gone 5:30. He's told his mum he'd be in by 6. So we'll get pretty close to 50% today. But for now, thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back in February. Whoop, if he drives in a straight line, we'll be back in February to finish this contract off and get some work done on our own fields. But until then, stay safe, have fun, enjoy the sunset. See ya.